Happy July, and welcome back to the Hunter's Quilt Mart Heirloom Bloom Block of the Month. This month we are working on Block 7. I will be completing it using the Bluebird's Nest fabric line, and here it is using Parlor and Ambiance. It uses fabrics 1, 8, and 9, and I'll be labeling each part as we go along to help you out. The full instructions and exact measurements can be found on page 19 in your pattern booklet. Let's get started. So I have fabrics 1, 8, and 9 all pressed and ready to go. We're going to start with fabric 1. So I'm going to move 8 and 9 out of the way. And I'm going to start with fabric 1. Fabric 1, I already have cut the selvage off and I folded it in half. And I'm going to move this out of the way for us a little bit. And we're going to start by trimming up 2 of the edges. And so I have the 2 sides trimmed up, and I'm going to turn it this way so that we have the trimmed edges across the top and down the left. We're going to begin by making 3 cuts going across. Remember that these instructions are found on page 19 in your pattern booklet. So there you can find the exact measurements. There's our first one. Slide that out of the way just a little bit. And then the next 2 cuts, we're going to make them the same, and then we're going to trim down 1 set. So I'm making both of these cuts the same. So there's one of them. And there's the second. This will be extra. I'm going to move these off to the side for just a little bit. And we're going to start with this one. So we started by trimming the top. These 2 sides are already trimmed. We just cut this one. This is our fold down at the bottom. So I'm going to turn it so that my fold is over here. These sides are all the same. And we need 2 squares. These 2 squares also have to be cut on the diagonal. So I'm going to place it like this, making sure that my points are right there on the edge of the ruler. And now we're going to have 4 pretty large triangles. And those are going to be cut A. Okay, we're going to take our next piece and the measurement that we cut, which is on the 3/4, we need 8 squares. We have it doubled up, and we're going to be able to get 6 of them from this one. So there's 2. Four. There's 6 of them. And we need 2 more. So I'm going to take this piece and we're going to cut 1 more. And there's our 8 that we're going to name B. From this one, we're going to trim it back down just a little bit. We need 4 smaller squares. Oops. So I'm trimming it to the smaller size, and then I'm going to turn it back again. And we need 4 squares at this size. There's 2. And 2 more. And these smaller ones are going to be C. And so we are done with fabric 1. So next up is fabric 8, and we're going to begin by taking fabric 8, and very similar to what we did with 1, we're going to fold it in half. And I'm going to begin by trimming up 2 of the sides. I'm going to trim my fold off first so that the pieces will lay flat. So these 2 sides are trimmed, and I'm going to spin it all the way around 180 degrees so that now my trimmed edges are here, and I just need to trim these 2. Since we're making a square, and this one is on the 3/8, so that means it's one little bitty mark less than the half. And these squares, we also need to cut on the diagonal. So I'm making sure my point is right on the edge of the ruler. And this is fabric 8, and this is cut D. Our last fabric is fabric 9, and I'm going to begin by folding this in half. I'm going to finger press this fold. And I'm going to start with my fold on this side. And I'm going to straighten up 2 of the edges. And then I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to turn it this way. Now my fold is at the bottom. And I'm going to make 3 cuts going across. There's number 1. Number 2. And cut 3 is going to be the smaller of the squares that you need. And this one is at 5/8. So that's one of those little lines after, bigger than the half. And I'm going to put this one off to the side for a little bit. These are the ones we're starting with. And now I've rotated it so that my fold is over here. And from these, we need 8 squares, and it's doubled up, so we're going to cut 2 and 2. There's our 4 squares, and that's letter E. And now we need 4 squares, and again, since we have it doubled up, if we make 2 cuts, we're going to have exactly what we need. So there's 2 of them. There we go. And both of these also need to be cut on the diagonal. So again, I'm lining up those points. And there's all my little triangles, and that's cut F. And now we're ready to start putting it together. To sew this block together, we're going to start with fabrics B and E. And you're going to do this with all of B and E, but I'm only going to demonstrate it one time. So you're going to take all of your Bs, you're going to flip them over, and draw a diagonal line on the back. We're going to be making half square triangles out of all of B and E. So with your line drawn, you're going to put it on top of your fabric 9 or your piece E and line it up, and you're going to stitch 1/4 inch down both sides. So I have my 1/4 inch seam foot, and I'm going to be putting the edge of the foot right on that line. So the line's going to slide right underneath the edge. If you're using the diagonal seam tape, your diagonal line or your point is going to go on the black line of your seam tape. And we're going down both sides. Okay, we have both lines sewn, and we're going to cut right on that line that we drew. And we're going to trim both of these. For one of them, I'm going to use the Quilt in a Day 6.5 inch triangle square up plus ruler. So for this one, we need to use our seam line. Do it this way. Maybe you can see it better that way. And our seam line is going to go directly on the measurement that we need it to be. And we're going to trim the 2 sides. And you can go ahead. Oh, we won't be able to trim the dog ears on that one because it's not going to line up. And so this one, we're going to press towards the darker fabric, away from our background fabric. And we'll be able to trim off those dog ears now that we're done. And there's one of them. For the other one, I'm going to press first. So I set the seam and now pressing it back. And for this one, I'm going to use a regular ruler. The first thing I'm going to do is just trim up 2 of those sides. I'm going to make sure that my diagonal line is right on the seam and that I am past the point that I need my square to end up at. So I'm trimming off those 2 sides, and then I'm going to turn it all the way around so I can do the others. Now I'm making sure that that diagonal line is right on there and that my edges are exactly the size that I need it to be. We're going to be using these half square triangles to make up a unit, and we need 4 of these units. You're going to need 4 of your half square triangles. First, you're going to start with 2 of them, and you're going to line them like this. You're going to put piece C at this end and F at this end. To make that one. Then you're going to make another unit that's going to go like this with F down this way. And so we're going to sew all of this together, and we're going to sew all of this together. So I'm going to take them over to the machine. I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to sew both of these and then sew them together. And then I'm also going to do this one. I'm going to start with this one and then sew that piece on. So I have all of my pieces, and I'm going to start with the first one. We're lining up these corners. And then we're going to grab the other pair. And for this one, this is the one with the triangle. This part of the triangle is going to stick out, this little corner. This squared up corner is the one that you are matching with your background fabric of this corner. So you want those to line up. And you're going to be doing this 4 times. So if you want to make them all together, you could chain piece these. And these are going to go towards this piece. So we're going to press this one back. And this one is going to press away from the triangle. And I'll press these when we get back to the mat, but I'm going to press them here just so I can finish this one. So this is what it looks like. And now I'm sewing these 2 together. And this is our other one. It's the one that looks like this. So we're going to start with this piece first. I'm going to flip this up, and we're going to match these 2 corners. And we're going to sew those together. Put that over there. So here's our piece. This one is going to go away from the triangle again. So it's going to be pressed up. And we're putting this one on top. Matching the corners and a 1/4 inch seam. So here are our pieces. And again, we are pressing towards the solid square. So I'm going to press that one. And there it is. Press that down just to make it nice and flat. And then we have this one. And again, we're pressing away from that little triangle. And this is how it's going to go into our little unit. And now we're going to take cut D, and it's going to fill in right here. And so the first thing that we need to do is take these two and sew them together. Okay, we're going to start by lining up those corners. And making sure it's right up against the edge. And we're going to press that seam. And for this one, we are pressing it back towards the triangle. Okay. And then we're going to take this piece and put it onto here. Just fold it down. We're going to line up these two corners and go all the way down the side. There is a seam right here that's going to nest, so just make sure those are lined up. And we're going to set that seam and then roll it back. And I've already trimmed off my little corners right there. And so that is one piece. And then you're going to take 1A, so this triangle that we cut earlier, and you're going to fold this to find the center and just finger press right there. And then I'm going to open it back up. So there's my center. For this one, I'm going to line it up, but I'm going to fold it back this way so that my right sides are out, and finger press it. Then when I lay these together, those will nest and they'll stick together. So I'm going to take it to the sewing machine and we'll pin that up a little bit. So my folds are lined up right there. You can see how they kind of nest into each other. And I'm going to take a pin and just pin that in place. I'm also going to pin down here because these are biased cuts, so they will stretch. You want to make sure that you're lining those up and that they're going to be nice together the whole distance. And now we're going to sew all the way down this side. We are going to set the seam and then press towards the solid triangle. I'm going to use my pressing bar just to press that down a little bit, make it nice and flat. And then we're going to trim off these little triangle corners. And you need to make 4 of these units. So you're going to place these, that out of the way, like this. And then we need to sew them together. So I'm going to flip this one over and this one. We're going to match those corners. And then these corners down here are going to nest. And then this is our next one. We're going to start with the nesting corners. And we're lining up these corners down here at the same time. Okay, and we're going to be pressing towards the big triangle. So the top one piece, we're pressing to the right. And the bottom piece, we're going to be pressing towards the left. And now we're just going to press these two together, and that seam is going to nest right in the middle. Okay, we're going to line up those corners. Make sure my seams match in the middle. We're going to set that seam. And this one has to be pressed open, but I'm going to start by pressing it back. And then I'm going to use my pressing bar. This is one of my new favorite tools. This is the 12-inch pressing bar by the Gypsy Quilter that has the clapper as well. This really makes pressing those seams open much easier. Slide it down. And there it is. There's our final block. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next month for block number 8.